Woo-wee, it's March already. Isn't that insane? Hey, everybody, thank you and welcome to the show. I am Mike Asher-Branner, the proud and humble leader of the Hounds of Business community and professionally known as the Redneck Connector. And you are tuning in to Mike King Biz Radio on ESPN 106.1 FM RVA. Hey, folks on the live stream, so good to see you here. Man, we appreciate you. And I got a feedback. Hey, and folks driving around Richmond at work, busy, thank you for tuning in. We always try to bring you the top of the line, best of the best. And hey, today is going to be an amazingly fun show, guys. We have the one and only Sandra Bothe. I said it right. Wow. And we're going to be talking about unmuting success, right? How immigrants can rise beyond limitations. And you already know how we do it. We don't want somebody who wrote from whatever, imagination. We want doers. This lady's done it. Cannot wait to bring her on. So I'll tell you what, we're going to get the intro video started. We're going to get right to it, folks. Thank you so much. Y'all can tell I'm excited, right?
Looks like your business might be in a bit of a pickle. Don't you worry about a thing. You ain't alone in this. You're just a success story waiting to happen. Trust me on that. Every bump in the road is just an opportunity wearing a clever disguise. Welcome to the Hounds of Business community, where we don't just sit around twiddling our thumbs. Nope. We turn those obstacles into mighty fine stepping stones. This here's a place where high-level entrepreneurs and sharp professionals gather to grow their businesses and mindsets, kind of like how a good old gumbo needs the right ingredients to be something special. Ideas thrive here, and collaborations, well, they're as natural as sweet tea on a hot day. Success, it's a journey, and we're fixing to walk that road right beside you. Now, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn for all the latest tips and insights. We're talking about the kind of wisdom that'll keep you ahead of the game. And while you're at it, head on over to our YouTube channel. We've got ourselves a treasure trove of videos, from expert interviews to webinars, everything you need to stay sharp in this fast-moving world of business. The Hounds of Business community? Well, we ain't just a network, we're a movement. So why not come on and be part of something bigger? Join us today and let's turn your business journey into a real Southern success story. Together, we'll achieve greatness. Just like crawfish and singing on a Friday night.
Oh, wow. Crawfish and singing on a Friday night. Let's bring Sandra Bothe up and see if she knows anything about that. How are you, Sandra? Welcome to the show.
I just always have so much fun listening to you.
Thank goodness. Who knew? So, my goodness, where are you from? Where are you at right now?
I am in New Jersey. It has been a really cold winter here. And really excited about today, really, because like I said, I always have fun just on how spontaneous you are, very genuine. So I really love that. And I was looking forward to this, to today. So good. And I congratulate you for this community that you have built, because it's all about collaboration. And I really love that, how, all these entrepreneurs come together and really collaborate with each other. So congratulations, Mike.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. That was nice. See, I told y'all she was nice. And you're going to make me cry. Come on now. I just put my makeup on. So wait, I got to give a shout out real quick. Look they flooded. They came here for you. Like Curtis, Noni. Oh, wow.
Nice.
Homer, my buddy. Linda, hey, brand new face. Good to see you today, Linda. So glad. Curtis, stuntman galore right there from the UK. Man, he's a great man. And Lewis, hey, Lewis always comes out the right time. Also from UK, but he lives around these neck of the woods. So I tell you what, let's get started, because folks want to know. You have a book, upcoming book called Unmuting Myself. Can you take us back to that moment when you first realized your voice has been silenced, right? And what it felt like as an immigrant professional?
Yeah, this book is launching in March. I think I always knew my voice was silenced. I just didn't realize until later, but silence was something normal. It's the way I grew up, right? My family, my parents were really not the kind of parents that were very expressive when it comes to affection. So part of that is being kind of inexpressive, just a good listener. And that's how I grew up. And as an immigrant, this silence followed me to my professional world, when I joined corporate America. I remember the first years after I arrived to the US. I was sitting in meetings full of ideas and really keeping them locked inside me because, to be honest, it was just afraid of the way I sounded. I was worried that my accent will make me sound incompetent, right? And that's
That
the
makes two of us.
immigrants. Yeah, that is true for many immigrants. We hesitate to speak up. And it's funny, there is this famous, I'm not sure if you know it, Sofia Vergara is one of the icons from my country, actually. And she even says this publicly, right? That people, because the way you sound, people doubt your intelligence just because they're fluent in English, which is just a language, right? That's nothing to do with your intelligence. If, like she says, if you hear me speaking in my language, you will realize how smart I am. So anyway, so things like that can hold back, immigrants, especially when it comes to the language barrier. But I see that this problem of being silenced, holding me back, and seeing opportunities passing me by, getting to people that I didn't feel were smarter than me, but that they should speak up. And
Right.
that is very helpful in corporate America. So yeah, that's when I realized that, that my voice was truly silenced, even more than ever now in a new land where I was, forced to speak a new language. I came to the US when I was 30 years old. So yeah, I realized, wow, I'm more silenced than ever now because it's just no about self-doubt, but also about a language barrier that I need to now get through and um, overcome. So anyway, that's the moment I realized I need to do this. I need to change this. And through my journey in corporate America, I see this happening to many professionals that they know how to advocate for themselves. Holding their ideas back, choosing not to reach out to people, not to introduce themselves in networking events, second guessing themselves. And I realized the fear of judgment was keeping everyone invisible. And I wasn't, just silenced by external factors. I was silencing myself. And that's when I knew that something needed to change. So that's came to the realization of my book, Unmuting Myself.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. And let me comment on two things. You said I resonate with it. Folks, hey, don't be shy. We got folks from other countries in here. Thank you for joining us. And Linda must be a huge fan of Sandra. She's just in here. So good to see you. All right. So you said when people judge you on your voice, thank you for saying that. I interviewed years ago for a major food bank. It was in the north. And the only saving grace from that, because they did, right? The Huckleberry Hound, accent I've got. And they were, and even somebody told me about it. The only saving grace was that someone from Arkansas, right? So that's way more south, was actually the association leader of the whole thing. So, but it's unfair, but that's the world we live in. So thank you for being open about that, and here about to open up about that journey. And then you said, silence yourself, and that's a shame because, and if you did that, you wouldn't be here impacting people. You wouldn't be here sharing your story to make it easier for other folks and people and immigrants and professionals, right? So thank you for having the courage to do that, because I know that's not easy. And you do it because you love other people, right? So
Thank you, Mike. I realize that, when you come out with your challenges and you share them, I was wrong before. I was afraid to share those challenges. And the moment I start sharing them, I realized that I'm not only alone in this, but that actually helped me to build more confidence, to be just embracing those challenges. And that's when I start overcoming the self-doubt and really becoming more confident just by embracing who I was and how I was getting through things.
Courage to go out there, screw it up, look stupid, feel stupid, and then keep doing it. Now
Yes.
look at you now. Look at you. We're going to get to it. Now you're on big stages and stuff. Good for you. So, oh, you hit something I want to touch on real quick before we dive in a little bit because this show goes way too fast, man. Um, so you talked about this, right? In corporate America, what barriers did you face that most native-born Americans might not recognize? What's a little different for immigrants?
Yeah, it's just the way that the cultural differences, right? I just there's so many that let me see how to start.
Where to start?
One of the biggest barriers is the expectations. That being a professional, in the corporate culture, you have unwritten rules, right? That is the way that people behave. And no growing up here, you don't know those until you
Right.
immerse yourself in the culture. And unfortunately, learn as you do, right? As you learn on the go. And that's one big challenge. That's what I recommend when you're moving to a new country. Today there is more help than before. The time I did this, I didn't really realize how much learning on that I needed to do. And today there is a lot of coaching, a lot of resources for people to really learn, how to land in that new place in a, more successful way sooner than after a few years of trial and error. So yeah, language and communication bias are another of the barriers that are there. Um, I was often perceived as less competent simply because the way I sounded, like I said before, and people have to really prove their intelligence before even speaking, right? To even to have more chance. Cultural adaptation, like I was saying before. And really, one of the things that, in my case, from the culture that I come from, there is something about the American culture where people is more promote self-promoting themselves,
Right.
and that is a little this is there is difficulty from the cultural background that I come from, where that is seen more as a not that such a great quality, but we are more for being humble, to say it in a way. So that is something that, yeah, is challenging too.
No, thank you for being so open about that. Because I mean, we think we're the only ones struggling, and there's a lot of folks, especially immigrants, that are struggling. Not opening about this, but you know the truth, right? They're just better at hiding it than we are. That's the only other people are just better at hiding it than we are. So thank you for being open. And real quick, because I want to dive in. I do. I want to make sure that we cover at least basis points. But I wanted to give a shout out, Mike King Biz Radio. Thank you for this partnership, man. Thank you for this collaboration. They put this guy on the jumbotron when he goes to the game out in Virginia. So the man is the real deal, and I love being able to go international with you, Mike King, and pushing people up. So thank you for this. And hey, don't go at it alone. Look who we run with in the Hounds of Business, guys. Hey, shameless plug. Check us out on YouTube. You can revisit this if you're on the radio right now listening. Hounds of Business on YouTube. You can find us, Mike Asherbrenner, on LinkedIn, or send a carrier pigeon. I still take those. Could be delayed, though. Bad weather's coming. All right. So let's get back into it. Here's what's remarkable to me, Sandra. You've learned to take those limitations and all those things that could really hinder you, right? Your growth, and you turn it into a strength, right? So bravo. And you took that fear of the public, because you're talking about, the speech, right? The way you sound, how some folks can relate to that, their judgments before they get to know you. But you've turned that fear into public speaking, one of your greatest strengths now. So how did that metamorphosis happen? What can others learn from your experience?
Yeah, well, I spent many years trying to deal with perfectionism, and that was, I feel that was the main barrier that I had to overcome. And that's what I was also silenced, just trying to to make myself perfect. And I realized that that wasn't never going to happen. I came to this country late, like I said before, and and when I came to peace with this, the way I sounded and embracing who I was, um, and I accepted who I am. I started to working on myself and putting myself. The truth is putting yourself out there, like you said before. At the beginning, you will embarrass yourself, but the more that you do, the more that you practice this, you get better at it. And this fear, once you face it in the face, you start feeling less fear of doing things. So I guess what I tried to do is the things that were scaring me the most. That's what I got into public speaking, because it's something that I know is not only. It's probably, they say, the number one fear for many people. So I choose that fear to put myself out there and get through it, and that's what I'm doing, the public speaking thing, getting on the stage in May in front of 500 people, because it's one of my challenges. You have to do it to overcome it. So
See, and that right there, you put yourself out there, willing to go through whatever it took, pain, sorrow, all that. And that's what it takes. But you found it. And that's the message. Hey, people, you'll find it. Put yourself out there. My God, letting myself out. Come on now. You think that was easy? No. So, thank you for that message, because it's inspiring. So in
thank
your work, because I remember you saying this, in your work, you've identified what you call the immigrant confidence crisis, right? And quite frankly, hell, the human condition, right, has this crisis. But what are the telltale signs that someone's experiencing this? So if folks are out there, they're like, yeah, that's me. And why does it seem to affect immigrant professionals so deeply?
Yeah, I guess because it's my own experience, and I noticed that, when I was working in corporate America, I always see the community not raising their hands, no making comments, and really, I guess it's more. I see more my community. I see, that reflection, and it really makes me think there is a crisis in confidence. And as I was, searching for my voice and seeing this silence, I realized that it was a problem with the self-judgment, right?
Yeah.
Because we tend to self-judge ourselves before we even say a word, and sometimes, yeah, the world will judge, right? But it's even worse when we judge ourselves and don't even give chance to do the thing, right? And let the world judge you if they want to, right? So
Yeah.
I think the self judgment is something that it really goes linked to the being silent. Yes, you were going to say something.
Oh, you just got me excited. I mean, it was, yes, heck yes. You work on you, right? The confidence, prove yourself right and wrong, right? You may think you suck. You may think you're great. Go find out. And that's what you did. That's why it's such a daggum amazing, I'm so excited to have you here, because you could talk all day, but you do this from experience, and you guide others to do this, because it's not easy. It is not easy. And why would somebody want to struggle 3 years when they can learn from you and do it maybe 1 month or two, right? Or three. So let's go there. You're full of tools and practical tips. All right. So if someone listening right now, they're struggling with this, right? They're not enough in that workplace or in their inside of them, whatever. They don't feel like they're enough. What's one NLP technique that they could try today that might help shift that perspective?
Yeah, there is really, many tools that we use, and that were, that I learned in my process of growing. And one that is really common is just the communication that we have with ourselves is really key. Um, and when we learn to reframe our challenges in a more positive way, when we change perspectives, that changed the world for me. For example, I remember when I start making my, my first tries speaking, um, I learned that, no matter how, if I did it, if it went well or not, I did it. And that's the most important thing is practice, right? So
Right.
reframing that failure is no failure as we think of failure. Failure is practice. And by reframing the way that we see things, then we start thinking about things that are holding us back in a way, in a better way, in a really way that can help us grow. So reframing is one of the things that we use a lot in NLP. We have a lot of, language is very important, and it's key, the way that we communicate with ourselves. So we start with that, with language. And there are other techniques as visualization too, when we do have goals, or when we have things that give us a lot of anxiety. We use visualizations, and it's really helpful. It really is a powerful tool. And I think you disappeared from the screen, Mike. But yeah, so that those are some of the, and also releasing these negative emotions that hold us back, right? Is very important, so that we can move forward. Oh, we looks Mike. Not sure what to do here. All right, I was just seeing if somebody can hear me.
Wow, that was wild. Can you hear me?
I think we lost you for a little bit. I was not
Guys,
sure if I should continue speaking, because I wasn't sure if I was on.
woo, hey, talk about courage. Dadgummit. Wow.
I have
Okay,
to
so
get
I
used
just
to this.
listen, I got new equipment, computer, internet, everything, and
That's
I'll be
right.
darned if I'm ready to go. A dadgum windstorm's hitting. I can't win for losing, but hey, the show must go on. All right, thank you all for sticking in. Look, everybody's cheering you on, like, oh my god. All right, so
That's
let's see
okay.
what time stamp we were in. We're good. I got you. All right, so all right. I hope I can just leave. Apparently, you were doing better when I was gone. You want to just take over? You want to interview me? No, that's an idea. We'll have her interview me next time. How about that? So, all right.
Yeah, I
So
love that
anyway,
too. Yeah.
I think I didn't ask this already because I even wrote this one down. Your work focuses on building unstoppable confidence, right? What's the difference between confidence that's genuine versus the confidence that's a mask for insecurity? Right? We see this.
Yeah. Um, for me, what I have learned is that when when you when you have a mask of confidence, you still have that voice whispering you, right? That whatever you're doing is, you have that voice telling you that you're not enough. You still have that internal dialogue. But when you are authentic, you have come to a place where you feel enough, you feel worthy. And that voice, when you are being confident and your authentic self, that voice is no longer there. So so for me, that's the
Right.
difference. That voice in your head telling you, as a confident, you're just fooling people. And at some point, you are going to, people is going to realize that you're not that confident. And people can tell, because it's also, there is something about authenticity that we were having a discussion this week. I think was Leslie Flowers posted something about authenticity, and it made me think about that question. And really, authenticity is an energy that we can, see and feel also. That's why it's hard to, she was asking who judge if I am authentic or not, who is to tell that? And really nobody can really tell that. It's something that you feel from a person, right? It's an energy. Um, and it just comes when you are in total alignment with, your inside and your outside world.
Well said. And I can relate to that. See that yes, immigrants have unique challenges, no doubt. I've got family members that they would say, yes, Sandra is absolutely spot on. But all of these things are human condition, right? And I love the way you've seen that and you share that with folks. Real quick, because I know we got about 5 minutes. I got to cut out that minute I left. But so your book, right? The book launches. What's the one that you hope we take away from this, right? That might change how they see themselves in professional settings.
Yeah, I one of the message that I want to share in the book is about belonging, right? I think that belonging has been also, think of belonging about something that we are asking for, wherever we, in the environments that we enter. And for me, in my book, my message is that belonging is something that we need to create, right? When we embrace ourselves and we share with the world, uh, very proud of who we are, um, we allow people, we allow that energy to connect with others. And that's how we become to belong to those environments. If if you allow yourself to create that belonging, to let the people see who you are, and that energy will connect when you are not afraid to show who you are. So that's why I believe one of the messages, just belonging is something that we create, not that we have to ask for.
Well said. No, no, no. I love it. And wow. So Sandra Bothe, right? It's spelled Bothe if you're out there on radio. And find her on LinkedIn. We didn't even scratch the surface, folks. There's so many things, tools, guides. She has coaching, the NLP, tons of stuff, upcoming speaking events at a major things. Plug in, right? Get around. And if you're out there being shy, you're like, I don't know, just do it. Okay, just do it anyway. Reach out to her. She's one of the most personable people I know. So get around birds of a feather, right? If you feel stuck, alone, and lack of confidence, don't bury your head in the sand. Go talk to Sandra, right? And if she can't help you, she'll know somebody who can, dadgummit. So, all right, last question, because we want to know. This is the personal question. This is my redneck Oprah question. All right. If you could go back in time, all right, whisper something to that young Sandra who first entered corporate America, feeling silenced, what would you tell her now?
um, I will tell Sandra that don't be afraid, because I have within me everything I need. And if I can go back, I will believe in myself more. In anything that it was my dream, I will go for it much earlier than I did, because I realized that I always had within me everything I needed to achieve those dreams. So that's what I will say.
Wow. Did y'all hear that? Oh, look, comments start firing. They heard that. Oh, my goodness. All right. So check it out. Daniel says Sandra is great at what she does. Yes, she is, because she speaks from the heart. Yeah, you need skills and you should work on yourself. But there's no
Definitely.
replacement for the heart, right? I had a
Right.
mentor, Sandra. He said, speak from the heart. He said, you capture the heart, you capture the person. And then I realized not everybody's tuned in the heart. So if I share the heart and they're not ready for it, that's not me. Right. I got to keep going until somebody hears that message. That's what you're doing out there. So thank you so much for joining us. Gosh, man, it goes too fast.
Yeah, it does. But it was such a
No,
pleasure with you.
yeah, my pleasure. Hey, all the folks, all the hounds, friends of the hounds, hey, connect with me. LinkedIn, Mike Asherbranner. You got Sandra Bothe, all right, Bothe. Go connect with her right away. You can find all her pages. She's updated everything. So thank you all so much, Mike King. Hey, you're the man. I appreciate you, brother. And we'll be on next week. I can't even tell you who's on, man. They just great guests week after week. So thank you all so much. We'll see you on the next one, y'all. Take care. Wave at the people. Do my princess wave.
Thank you, Mike.
I gotta go YouTube see that.
Bye.
Yes, ma'am. Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.